Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. We have been discussing the chapter number 3, the kingdom classification, and in the first three kingdoms of the five kingdom classification, kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, and kingdom Fungi. All three we have discussed in the previous videos of this present chapter 3 explanation. You can see those topics in the previous video sessions, and today we will be discussing in this video from kingdom Plantae onwards. So let us have this topic here. The different plants, various kinds of the plants are put up in this particular kingdom called as the kingdom Plantae. And all the members of this kingdom Plantae, they are showing a set of characteristics that are discussed as follows. First is obviously all of them are multicellular organisms. All the plants are multicellular in nature. Second, all the plants are having chlorophyll to make their own food, and because they can make their own food, the members of kingdom Plantae are called as autotrophs. They are doing photosynthesis. The last one, the cell wall of the plant cells are composed of a substance that is called as cellulose. In all the plants you will find this cellulose is there, and that is what makes the cell wall. All the plant cells are having cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of cellulose. So these are certain characteristics of the various type of the plant cells. Here some examples are given of this photographs. You can see all these are the members of the kingdom Plantae: Spirogera, moss, as well as the fern. All of them are having the similar characteristics as we have seen just now. So that is all about the kingdom of the plant. When we classify the plants, it will help us in which manner? First of all, the classification of plant help us to gain a thorough knowledge of the different type of the plants. We will know how many types of plants are there. We will understand about their similarities, differences, and what are the relationships between different types of the plants. So this is the first benefit of studying the classification of plants. Second one, we can avoid the confusion and difficulty in identifying the plants. Different wide variety of plants are there. If we study about their classification, it becomes easier to identify them, and we will not be confused and will not face any difficulty in identifying the particular plant and its respective relationship with its species. Now we'll see the classification of these plants. Plants are categorized into various methods. The first method is we can have three categories. They are called as the herbs, shrubs, and the trees. The smaller ones, the smallest one actually, the small plants with green and soft stems are called as the herbs. Example you can see here: wheat and petunia. All these examples are given in this table. All these you should be learning. So wheat and petunia are the herbs. They all are green in color, with their stem is also green, and it is also very soft. They are the smallest among all the members of kingdom Plantae. Second one, the medium sized ones. The medium sized plants are called as the shrubs. They are having woody stems. The stem is woody, it is not soft, it is woody stem. So if the stem is soft, we will say herb. If the stem is made of wood, it is a shrub. It is medium sized plant. Examples are given there: jasmine and lemon, both are examples of shrubs. The last one, the trees itself, they are tall plants instead of the stem. Stem is relatively thin, and trunk is very wide. So trunk is there in case of the trees, stem is absent there. Example you can see neem tree or mango tree, both are examples of the trees. So this is the first simple classification: herbs, shrubs, and trees. Next one is on the basis of the lifespan. First categorization we have done on the basis of shape and size. These three we have done. Next one is on the basis of the lifespan. How much is the life of a particular plant? First is annual plant. Annual plant live only for one growing season. After one season they will die, like green pea or tomato. These are annual plants. Next is biennial plant. They will complete their life cycle within two growing seasons. After two seasons the plant will die. That is turnip and radish. Both are examples of biennial plants. Last one are perennial plants. Perennial plants, they are having a long life. They will live for many years to come. Example, date palm or babul tree. All these are examples of the perennial plants. So perennial ones are the longest one in living. Annual ones are the shortest ones, which in the case of the lifespan. The next one now, on the basis of their habitat. Habitat is the place where they will grow. So based on the place where the particular plant or tree is growing, we will classify them. First are the mesophytes. Mesophytes will grow on the land, and the land where they are growing, that will have adequate or moderate amount of water. That means neither too hot nor too cool. Means in a typical situation, in an average kind of situation, neither it is very hot nor it is very cold. In a normal situation, it is growing on the land only. That example you'll read: peepal tree, banyan tree. All these are examples of mesophytes. Normal trees are coming in the category of mesophytes. Second one now, hydrophytes. The name hydro means related to water only, and hydrophytes are growing in the water bodies. These are all aquatic plants. They can float on the water. Also, they can be submerged inside the water. They may be present at the bottom of the pond or the lake. They can be there even inside the ocean. Also on the ocean floor, many plants are there. Aquatic plants are there. So all these plants which are growing in the water bodies, either they are floating on the water bodies or they are submerged in the water bodies. All of them are called as the aquatic plants, and therefore they are categorized as hydrophytes. Example is given here: lotus, it is floating on the water. Second also is water hyacinth, that is also you can see in the lakes. On the upper layer of the lake, you can see green leaves are spread of water hyacinth. In the rainy season, it is very common. Next is the xerophytes. Now xerophytes are the desert plant which are growing in the areas where water is not available in a proper quantity. Water is scarce there, so desert plants are called as xerophytes. So water scarcity areas they are present. Example you can see cactus plant or babool. They both are xerophytes. They grow in the desert areas or where water is very less. Last one now, the categorization or classification is on the basis of nutrition. First is autotroph, second is heterotroph. Majority of the plants are autotroph because they are make their own food by the photosynthesis. All of them are green in color. All the green plants are having chlorophyll and they can do photosynthesis to make their own food. Whichever plant is making its own food, they are autotrophs. Example, any of the green plants, all the green plants are autotrophs. Then which one is not doing photosynthesis is called as heterotrophs. They are all non-green plants. They will get the food from other plants. They are themselves not preparing the food. They take the food from other plants because they are taking food from others. They are called as heterotrophs. They can also be saprophytes or parasites. They depend on other organisms for their food. Organisms I mean by other plants. Example is Cuscuta. This is a heterotroph plant. It depends on other plants for its food. So that is all different classification. All these you have to learn. We can ask any one of them. Like question may be asked, what is the classification of the plant on the basis of lifespan? So we'll have to explain these three. We can ask on the basis of habitat. Then you will have to tell any of these three things. So that is how you have to learn. Next, now here are some properties given, characteristics given of the plants. Characteristics we are reading. First one, they are having the ability to grow by cell division. All the plants grow. They can increase their size. Their shape can change by the cell division. Next is all of them can reproduce, both sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. Both the types of reproduction are there in the plants. Next, energy. Energy is obtained by the sun. From the sun only energy is provided for photosynthesis process. Solar energy, that is from the sun, is trapped by the plants to produce food, or we can say to prepare their food. Next is they are having a self-defense mechanism. Many of the plants are having this self-defense mechanism or system to protect themselves so that other animals cannot destroy them. Many plants are even insectivorous plants are there which can protect themselves from other insects and animals also. This is not in all plants. Some of the plants are having this self-defense mechanism or system. Next is if conditions are favorable, plants can grow throughout the life. That depends on the situations, external situations, the place where they are growing, what are the conditions there. If it is favorable, plants can easily grow. Next one, the kingdom Plantae will include different type of plants. It can have flowering plants which produce flowers. It can have mosses, it can have ferns as well as algae. All these are coming in the category of plants only because they can do photosynthesis. All these can do photosynthesis. That is why they are put in this category of kingdom Plantae. So we have completed the topic of kingdom Plantae. Here one fact is given, just we have to memorize this. The banana plant is the world's largest herb. It is not a tree, it is a herb. Never say banana tree, it is a herb. So we will have to say banana plant. If someone says banana tree, it is wrong. It has to be called as banana plant because it is a herb. So it is having a huge size. That is why it can be called as commonly banana tree, but it actually is a plant only. So that is all for the kingdom Plantae. We will move to the kingdom Animalia. It is a very long topic. Only the introduction part we will see. Its classification will cover in the upcoming videos. So kingdom Animalia, the name itself is telling. Animalia means animals, all the animals, even the human beings. We are also a part of kingdom Animalia, and all of us, all the animals, including humans, are having certain characteristics. First is all the animals are heterotrophs. We cannot make the food. Animals cannot make the food like the plants. Plants can do photosynthesis. Animals cannot do so. Human beings also depend on plants and animals for the food. Next is we can move. All the animals and the human beings can move from one place to another for searching the food and also for finding the shelter. Next is and all the animals have specialized organ systems like digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system. Different organ systems are there in all the animals and the human beings. This is a very important aspect of the kingdom Animalia. Next is they stop growing after a certain period of time. In the case of plant, we have seen they can grow throughout their life. Plants will grow all through their life, they can grow. But in the animals and human beings, there is a certain age up to which the body will grow. After that the body stops its growth. So up to a fixed time or a certain age only the body growth will take place. That is all about there are 4 points related to the characteristics of animal. Now we can categorize the animals into two types, that is on the basis of absence or presence of backbone. The backbone is present or not. If the backbone is present, then we will call the animal as vertebrate. Even the human beings, we are also having a backbone. That is a vertebral column is there. Backbone or vertebral column is same thing. So backbone or vertebral column, if it is present in animals, then they are called vertebrates. If it is not present, then those animals are put in the separate category. They are called as the invertebrates. We will see the further classification into the in the next video. We'll start the classification of vertebrates onwards. So that is all for present video. Thank you.